Now, I have been wanting to cover this topic for quite a while, and it is what to do when you finally find real love. Now, this is why I will always tell people we all love the idea of love. We all watch movies, we see interactions, and we all want to be part of this great adventure, right? But it is also very important to educate yourself, set your boundaries, know who you are before you get involved in certain things, right? And I say this because at this age right now, a lot of people in their 20s, they've been through series of traumatic relationships that eventually shape who they become in the future. Now, the person who once had the perfect idea of, oh, I want to love, now is suspicious of absolutely everything. Now is constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop, when in reality there is no shoe to drop. Now you judge every new person that comes into your life with the idea of what you already previously have encountered. And this is why a lot of people are miserable, both men and women. Now let's look into it. I speak about healing all the time because I had to painfully go through the process of healing. Now, I always, somehow, for some strange reason, I always ended up in toxic relationships. I couldn't understand it. I did not have guidance on what to do. When we were growing up, we were taught stay away from boys, till we got in our 20s and we were expected to bring a husband home. But no one ever nurtured us on what to expect in a relationship, how to be in a relationship, how not to lose yourself in a relationship, and we ended up making mistakes. Now I keep saying I'm a person that I like to learn before I put my own hand in the fire. If I see something burn somebody else, I would rethink my whole strategy. Now, like I said, being in a cycle of toxic relationships, sometimes your expectations, you now start expecting only toxicity. And let's not forget one very dangerous part of being in toxic relationships. It is as bad as consuming substances, because it creates a high that sometimes it is so hard to detach from. Now in life, you see people say, oh my god, but she was with a good guy but she left him. Why? Because she has been taught how to just be in a toxic cycle, and she doesn't know how to process what a true partner brings to her. Now it's boring, now it's not interesting, now it's no longer fun, because she is missing that high. It's never about the person, it's always the chase of the high. Now, talking about me, and I'll use me as an example. I dealt with relationships. My longest relationship was 11 years, right? And when I came out of that relationship, I honestly didn't know how to be. At this point, my whole idea of being in a partnership was a little bit off. So God finally sent me the perfect partner. But you see, when I got that perfect partner, I became the toxic one. And how, you might ask? Now, I became like a detective. I wanted to know why you're so perfect. Why are you so perfect? Why is it that everyone else told me I was a handful? Why is it that everybody else felt the need to create distress in my heart? Why is it that some of them ghosted? What makes you special now? And with that thought actually consumed me to the point of I almost broke my relationship up, because I kept waiting for that other shoe to drop. And that is where, even if I had started the idea of healing from before, I still had not gotten to that conclusion. Now, my partner sat me down and we had series of conversations at the beginning, because they realized that I was always listening to attack and not listening to comprehend. Everything they pointed out, that wait, hold on, why are you doing this like this, or why are you acting that way, to me felt like an attack, because who is you to come tell me how to be? I always grew with the idea of, oh, I'm old enough, I'm matured, I should know better. But that is where we fail ourselves. It took me quite a few months to start unboxing everything, every thought, every decision I had made. Not because my partner was forcing me to do that. I realized that I had a good person, but I needed to understand why I was always triggered, why I always waited for the shoe to drop, why I couldn't just be me. Do you understand? And I started comparing. Oh my God, this is how the first one started, and then ended up like this. And I had to literally go into every box I had buried, every pain I had felt, every discomfort I felt. I had to unbox those things and ask questions and share those questions with my partner. Like, wait, why do you think I reacted this way? Why do you think, is it that I didn't love myself enough? Is it that I didn't see my value? And that is a lot of the problem too. Growing up, we jumped quickly into relationships without understanding what we stood for as people and what made us tick or what made us happy. And unfortunately, if your first relationship is a toxic one, you think that's the pattern of life and that's how it's supposed to be. And people tell you, oh, sit in there and make it work. I had to bring out all those things that really broke me to understand exactly who I was. And guess what? By the time my good partner came, I was confused of who I was, what I stood for, and this is also why I stayed away from social media, because I was confused. Who am I? What is my story? What do I want to serve the people? It was a lot of confusion, and that's why I backed off even social media, because I always say, don't sell a wrong narrative about yourself to people, because then there would be clashes. It took a lot of realizing that my partner is not there to hurt me. And it saddened me that because I had come from a toxic pattern of choosing wrong, I now judged every other person based on how previous people dealt with me. And that is the most unfair thing you can do to yourself. Sometimes you would meet the greatest of people, but because you're still in a toxic cycle, you do not know how to embrace the new growth. You do not know how to come out of toxicity, and it's such a disservice to yourself. Many times, I promise you, a lot of people will lose potentially fantastic partners because they are still in a toxic mindset. Until you unbox those things, till you come out of that, you can never make any relationship work, because you would judge them based on what you have felt before. I always dreamt of, oh, I want love to be like this, I want it to be like that. When I finally got it, I did not know what to do with it. I would itch. I would, in funny ways, try to sabotage it to see, okay, you know what, if this one is going to go, let it go now. It took a patient person. And remember one thing, what I had to realize quickly is my partner was not supposed to heal me. My partner is not supposed to be put the burden of trying to fix me. It is your individual duty to fix yourself, because no one should carry the burdens you are refusing to deal with. A lot of people tell me, you don't know what I went through, you don't know. No, you know what you've been through, but you keep putting yourself in the same cycle and expecting everybody else to deal with your nonsense behavior. And you expect your partner to deal with you and heal you, but no. Healing comes from within. That's the only time you will find grace. That's the only time you will find peace. And that's the only time your cup will be full enough for you to share that love with someone else. A lot of people are so desperate to be in relationships, but their cups are literally almost empty. You can never serve from an empty cup. Please understand this. If you end up serving from an empty cup, you will just delude yourself even more. Learn to understand who you are. Everybody was put on this planet with a mission. Everybody was put here to love. God's intention was never for there to be so much chaos between man and woman. Woman was supposed to help make man also feel secure, and man was supposed to make woman feel secure. But we are all fighting each other, and we are all traumatized. When are we going to change the pattern? When are we going to say no to toxicity? You think the people who take substances don't do it for a reason? Once they are there and they are in that mind space, they can't come out of it. And the same thing goes to relationships. Toxic relationships are like substances. You're either going to break away from that mindset and try to create something and understand that they can still be hurt along the line, but the way you judge it will be different. Give yourself grace. It took me almost a year to understand who I was, and to understand that my partner was not there to hurt me or to heal me. It had to do with me. Until today, I will still focus on growth. I will still focus on making myself better, so the people around me see peace. And guess what? When I got peace, my child got peace, Because a lot of parents don't understand those things you go through, you put on your child without you even realizing. Now my child is very happy. My child has been happy for almost 5 years now. Life is what it is. Choose kindness, choose peace always.